Hello. Greetings, nail peoples. Hello. Hello, hello. Come on in. Hi. Intro thing. It's Nails Over Coffee, and I'm Michelle Cordes Pugh, and it is April 6th. Hi, come on in. Today we have mini, because that's how I feel today. Mornings aren't pretty. No, they are not. Finally, you can join. Yay! Hello over in the UK. Good evening. I love my UK peeps. Well, I love all you guys, but my UK peeps always make me smile. Hello, hello. Come on in. I'm just gonna enjoy some of this Java here. You're here as usual. I know you guys are funny. It's so late at night, and hey, we've got somebody who's Mrs. Makeup who just joined, so I'm sure very disappointed in this. Hi. I'm still rocking the amazing, tinted moisturizer thing, so enjoy your warm coffee. I'm warm in an electric blanket, right? Totally. So, I look great, shut up. You just made me choke on my coffee. Oh, that was funny. Oh, you guys are sweet. Okay, so, quick thing I wanted to start out with, because I can't stand it anymore, only having one nail. It's funny you say that. What happened with my Caption nail? I was just about to show you. So that is 8 days on a nail tech. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. This little side here was totally me, I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of a nail biter, so I think I scratched that one off. And just this morning, I noticed I have a little tiny chippy on the other side. But I know that when I'm testing products on myself, that I can generally double whatever wear I got, and that's how it'll wear on a client, because we're, of course, in solvents and files, and let's face it, our thumbnail on our non-dominant hand kind of takes a beating, and with solvents and stuff, because we're holding somebody's finger, so, right? And so I normally, like I said, I double what I get. And what is going on here, I don't know. Like, I haven't actually tried, but so let's try while we're sitting here. Let's see if I can. It's really hard to even pick up an edge. And it doesn't peel off like gel polish does. Right? Yeah, I know I'm being naughty right now. I'm being naughty on purpose. It's really hard even to pick up an edge, and I'm doing it with a natural nail on the other side. So if I had the thickness, like, I don't know, this would take some work to peel off. So I'm going to be interested to, and that was, of course, the first time I ever used it too. So it would definitely just get better, right? So I think I'm going to try to soak this off. And I think what I'm going to do, so I got 8 days out of it, which means I can expect a client to get solidly 2 weeks. So I think what I'm going to do is fix my hood. And then I think I'm going to buy a couple of bottles of Caption in some of my natural nail client, like who normally wear shellac, in like their favorite colors. And Black & Decker sand, you'll have that off in a jiffy. Did first Caption conversion over acrylics today. And see, now I've done Caption over acrylic and just used my regular sealant. I've just let it dry first, and that's worked out really well. So I've been doing that actually for a while. I was just concerned about the how it would last on a natural nail, because a natural nail flexes. So I think I'm going to get a couple of bottles in a couple of colors that I know my regular clients will really love, and give it a whirl on them just to say, hey, thinking about switching from the brand we normally use to this one. So I've used it on myself and it was good. So let's give it a whirl and see how it works out on you. And most of my guests are pretty good about that stuff. I've done that in the regular polish underneath, bubbled up the next day. I need to go hunt down your Periscope chat on the Caption polish. Yeah, I did this nail live 8 days ago. So it would have been last week, Tuesday's show. You got to be real careful doing that with, do I think it will add any type of strength to natural nails? It seems to add protection, not strength. Same with shellac. So you know how shellac doesn't really add strength? It just adds enough protection that it's not like real flimsy. It seems to be that way. Like I can still push down on my nail and have it flex if I push really hard. But yeah. Yeah, a little coat of armor. So I think, for the true test before I make a final switch is for some of my regular diehards who I know how their nails behave. I know them like inside and out, to try it on them to make sure that it's going to work for them if I make the switch. And I know their nails inside and out. So if it doesn't work, I've got half of the puzzle already figured out because I already know the canvas it was on. So that sort of takes that out of the equation. So, thank you. Walking to Salon Centric, buying art screens and Caption polishes as we speak. Oh, that's funny. And see, we now, Young Nails for Caption for Young Nails has switched from Salon Centric to Cosmoprof. So in my area, Salon Centric is running down on stock and Cosmoprof is fully stocked, and they have slick pour. Which is super cool because I want to give that a try too, just to check it out. But that's got to go in the I want to play with it, not make money off it fun budget. So that has to wait a minute. Slick pour. Not your Cosmoprof, really. It's in this month's issue of the Cosmoprof sale flyer. So maybe if your Cosmoprof doesn't have it yet, it's just because it's a North American distribution thing and maybe it just hasn't made it to you yet. I'm not sure where their distribution centers are. I know that our Cosmoprofs here in Washington State are usually really good about getting stuff really quick. So maybe, I don't know. The other thing I wanted to talk about here in Wisconsin, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, speaking of locations, that in this conversation I've been having about lots of things about our nail business, I have learned that I am in a really lucky place to be a nail tech in Washington State. And so I'm really glad that I have you guys to talk to me about some different things that are going on in the industry around the country and around the world. And Pennsylvania, we get things so slow, right? I always feel for poor, when Karen Hodges, who I still call Key West Karen, that's why screen names are important, was down in Key West. She used to say that she swore the Pony Express still was in effect down in Key West, because it would take like 3 days for something to get to Miami mail wise, and then it would take like an extra 5 to make it the other 90 miles to Key West. And so I think that still is in effect in a lot of our distribution systems, just kind of globally too. But I'm really glad I have you guys to talk to me about what the nail industry is like in your different places, because I have been, I've been really fortunate. Washington State, so to give you an idea of what the nail world is like where I am. So when we talk about this in the context of University of Nails concepts, these are like external forces to your business. And so what kind of the area you're in does make a difference in how you deal with your, business model. Where I'm at, we are 600 hours for licensing, which is the highest in the country, and it, along with Oregon, and I think there's a few other couple states, but we're 600 hours for getting your nail license. And we have a specific nail license. It's a manicurist license. And we because we're at 600 hours, our schools qualify for our federal financial aid programs, which means that people can actually go to school to be a nail professional and can actually get student loans for it. Whereas states that are under 600 hours, you can't get federal loan funding. So the other thing about being in Washington is our laws are really good and really up to date. Our board is really active. We have active inspectors. They do actually go in and shut down unlicensed salons, unlicensed operators. And because of that, we don't tend to have a lot of super deep discount salons. Even our discount salons are not really very inexpensive. They're, $25 for US dollars for a set of white tips and clear acrylic. They're $40 US dollars or more if you want to have pink and white acrylic. Saying we need all this, no regulation in the UK. Yeah, and that's sort of my thing is, this is where I've been. Now I've traveled and done education in other places, but this is where, Mare, you're so funny. You die with the weather here, Mare. It's so not Florida. But so we don't have, and we don't really have, we have people who thin out people's nails too much and they create rings of fire and those kind of things. But we don't have a lot of the really deep discounted, really unlicensed, ugly undercurrent of our industry. We don't really have here. So that thinking led me to a couple different things, which is one, I'm really fortunate to be a nail tech in Washington State and have spent my career here. See, and that's the thing, Mare, is that there is nail places in every plaza, in every shopping center. There's tons. They're just not super deep discount. And, I can name 6 discount salons within my little proximity here that aren't super cheap and that are inexpensive, but not doing horrible work. So, so that's a plus and a minus, right? It's great for consumers. There's loads where I am. They're all called for you too. Nails for you too. That's funny. But it's also hard then as a nail tech to differentiate. We end up all sort of being in a similar price bracket unless you're really differentiated. So there's ups and downs. It bugs me when I do clients' nails and they go off by crap and start doing nails untrained. Yeah, see, that doesn't really fly here. Our consumers are better educated, so they don't really go for that. The nails would have to be so cheap that it almost, even an untrained person, wouldn't really be worth it. Time-wise, we have a good minimum wage here. So, you could go out and get a job as a receptionist in a salon making minimum wage and make as much money as doing nails untrained at home. I mean, granted, you'd be at home, not at a salon as a receptionist, but you know what I mean. When they call up and ask how I do something as I made it look easy, I just say, it's my job to make it look easy. She got nails cool. There's so many home gel kits available over here. Well, there's tons of home gel kits available over here too, but I think, I don't know. I've used these numbers, and they're numbers that are nowhere, like, this is not a scientific research. This is just my numbers. I say all the time, this is what I've always said. There, in 100% of people who do their nails, there's 10% who are always going to do their own nails. They're never, ever, ever going to go into a salon for any reason. They're just never gonna, ever. They're good at doing their own. They're used to it. They love nails. It doesn't bother them. That 10% you're never going to see. You can't offer your services for free and get them in your salon. They're just never going to a salon. Then there's the other end of the 10% that are always going to go to a salon. They feel like they can't do anything with their nails, or they hate doing it with their nails, or they're not going to spend the time or whatever. And they're always going to go to a salon. And those are your diehards that once you get them, they're never going away. And when you quit, you're going to have to refer them to another salon because they're literally never doing anything. If you can get them to use oil, you're doing good. And then there's the 80% in the middle. And that 80% in the middle is going to go to a salon when they can. They're not going to when they don't. And they're willing to do some work on their own. The problem where I am is the NSS have shellac, but for 12 pounds to 15 pounds, and can't see how they can be using genuine products. Well, okay, but so you're part of the University of Nails. So look at the whole rest of their business model, which is hard to do because there's some unknowns. But you can look and see once the initial investment is made in expensive chairs and the tables and all that stuff, once the fixtures are set up, look to see, be nosy, see if you can find out how much they're paying for rent. How many techs do they have in there? Do they have 4, 5? Are they full-time? Are they not? Once you've bought all 80 or 90 bottles of shellac, 15 to 20 is the average price in my area, and I'm towards the end range. So yeah, I mean, looking at the whole thing when you're examining your competition, and I mean your competition because they're right, purchased and walking back to the car all the while listening to you. That's hilarious. You are so funny. Did you buy some more Slick Pour? You can examine your competition using the same tools that you use to set up your own business. And so you can determine where the differences are. And it might be as simple as the difference in what you're paying yourself. And that's totally fine. Yep, no Slick Pour. That's totally fine. Like, if the difference between their prices and your prices that you make more because you're trained and they're not as trained, then cool. Now you just know your differentiation and you can market that in a way that people will understand and will hit home. So one of the benefits, though, to being where I am is that because I'm in an area where doing it the way we wish it would all work everywhere actually works, lets me know that maybe that's why I'm such a positive Polly about the thing. The 80% are gift certificates and special occasions. I don't even know that it's that much. I think it's just people, like, I have some longtime clients who they'll go a year without having any enhancements on. And I'll maybe see them twice for products. And they're fine with polishing their nails at home. Maybe they'll come in twice in that year and have a manicure done and pick up some products from me. But then after the year, they'll go back to having enhancements on. So they're still my clients and I still see them or hear from them, but I wouldn't if I wasn't selling them what they needed. So that's more, I think, the 80%. It's frustrating trying to explain why your pricing structure is going to be more expensive. Not really. frame your certificates, put them on the wall. Your marketing is going to be more driven towards the, I'm fully licensed, I'm fully trained, I have X amount of experience, I carry insurance. You know, your marketing is going to be more driven to the people who care. Which the good news is that then when you're marketing on that, you can stop marketing on price. And so then the price you're charging is almost irrelevant. And people say, well, why are you so much more expensive? You say, I'm so much more expensive because I'm so much more trained in what we do. And so, you know, I don't damage nails and I don't make it hurt. And, you know, you can do marketing as a pain-free nail experience by a trained person. So my certificates, awards, and published nail art is all up on the walls and my clients love it. Absolutely. So I think that what I'm trying to say here, though, I'm not allowed to put my certificates up. Put them in a photo album and set them by your table so they can be flipped through. People brag about when they refer me someone. Absolutely. Put them in a photo album or a binder in sheet protectors, right? And so that they're accessible to be looked at, but not up on the wall. Sort of like your own little rolling resume there. Where there's a will, there's a way. So that's the thing, is that being from an area where it's working, I wish we could just get it working everywhere. And so that's why I still hold out hope. I think it can happen. I think we can get it. I know that I sometimes look at things a little bit with my rose tinted glasses on because of where I'm at. But the upside to that is my positive Pauliness out of that comes from the fact that I've seen it working for a lot of years, and our laws are really clear here. We don't allow use of methyl methacrylate in the salon, MMA. And even if you have it, it's a fine. And if you do it more than once, they'll shut you down. So it's not just the sale and distribution that's banned in the United States. In Washington state, you can't even have it in the salon, or you can get fined. And the inspectors look for it. Our inspectors don't care as much what language you speak. Our nail examination, wish MMA was banned in monomer here. I'm hoping that it's like that. And that's the thing. Mayor's saying, I wish Florida was like that. And that's the thing. We just need to lobby to get all the rest of these places to catch up. You know, our state, when fish pedicures came out, our state outlawed them like that. It happened almost instantly. That our state went, nope, you can't disinfect a fish and you can't disinfect the water. So nope, you can't use it in the salon. We don't care if it's safe or not. It doesn't follow our rules. Can't do it. You know, there's, so I think that we just need to be able to get this. You can't disinfect a fish, right? That's exactly it. They said everything you use needs to be disinfectable and you can't disinfect a living thing. So, you know, now UK nail techs, right? Yeah. Ohio inspector 4 times a year. Here in Virginia, I've never seen one in 3 years, right? UK techs, I know that the laws are changing over in the UK to the European Union cosmetic laws. And those are really, really strict. There's a lot of things that we can sell here in North America that aren't able to be sold in the European Union yet. And so, and there's a lot of hoops to jump through to get registered. So Wisconsin haven't been inspected in the 3 years I've been here. Yeah, see, this is it. We just all need, so the UK, there's some stuff changing. So we need to look into that and see what can be, there have been a couple petitions, but lots of people say they're a waste of time. I don't get it. Yeah, we'll ignore the people who say they're a waste of time. Those are the people that when everything changes, they'll go out of business. So don't worry about them. Yeah, I think that maybe I'll pull up the laws for Washington State and I'll put the links up in somewhere online. I'll find somewhere to put it that it's free, or I'll put it in the Nail Rogue blog because that's free, as an example of what we should be working for. Is it perfect here in Washington? No, of course not. You know, we still have the, as our economics teachers like to talk about it, the invisible hand of capitalism that drives the market. And so is it perfect? No. But, oh, all right. Well, bye. Thanks for stopping in. Got a jet. So they said it was nice to see my smiling face. So that we have at least a framework for what works. And let's look into this thing in UK and New Zealand and Australia. And, you know, we need to be raising the bar for the having enough inspectors and having inspectors who don't care what language you speak. Our written test for our cosmetology licenses, including manicuring here in Washington State, is offered in Korean, Vietnamese, Cambodian, English, Spanish, and I'm not sure what else. I mean, it's offered in a whole bunch of different languages. So there's no excuse for not getting licensed. And in our schools, we have schools of different cultures and different languages. And you don't think they even have inspectors in the UK? I don't know. We'll have to look into that. I'm gonna have to look into that. You guys over in the UK, some of your stuff's really cool and some of it's really different. And so I'm gonna have to check that out. So thanks for giving me some more homework. Although I know all my marketing stuff is still good because I took international marketing. And I use that in my stuff for you guys. So I don't know. I guess I just have a little bit different positive poly outlook because I'm in an area where it works. And short of having everybody come do nails in the Northwest United States, which wouldn't work for clientele or people, you know, we have to get this spread everywhere. And so, especially, you know, it always surprises me how far behind the times Florida is in the United States. It's like as progressive as the West Coast is as not progressive as Florida is. Some of the stuff with the cosmetology laws. I did learn, however, that I thought we had the people that trading standards maybe in UK, the glam squad people that Tina has been all up in arms about being unlicensed and everything. We do have something like that here in Washington. It's just not them. It's like Glam Lab or something like that. I keep meaning to hit them up for whether they're licensed estheticians or not. So, you know, it does happen, but I don't know. I think we just need to look at what works as a skeleton bones model of what, and then alter it for different cultural differences in different jurisdictions. And I wish we just had national standards everywhere in every country for all of us, because I don't see it happening in the United States because that whole states' rights things, but you know, I do wish we just had a national standard. I mean, I figure it's because lawyers and doctors are still having to get licensed in states, they're not going to make us any different. But I'd at least like to make it easier to follow one standard, right? I'd at least like to make it so that like a doctor can go to medical school at any medical school in the United States and then go get board certified and state licensed in any state. And so I'd like to have it that way where all of our training was standardized. And then you went to your individual state to get licensed. And for the clients too, so they know what to expect. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think just a lot of that is just, you know, in our business Facebook pages that we have that you guys were also kind to list on Nails Over Coffee, we need to not only be promoting our own work, but we need to be promoting what type of a, you know, if your nails aren't becoming to you, you should be coming to me kind of thing where we put up the random picture of some nails done badly and say, nails that look like this with rings of fire, or if your nails hurt when you go get them done, then you need to find a new nail place. And if it's not me, somewhere that isn't doing that. And work on educating the public that likes our page. And if you boost a post to those people, it goes to the people who like your page and all of their friends. So you can put up a post like that on your Facebook page and spend $5 or £2 or whatever, and boost it to your local area, to the connections of the people who also like your page. And that process of educating the clients, I notice I get a lot of wows and really and nuh-uh when I do it on mine, because people just don't know. And so explaining to them, and it's funny because they're like people that are like nurses. I'm like, wait a minute. You're a nurse and you work in a sterile field. Pay $20 for 4 days on Facebook, right? $5 a day. You're in a small town. You might actually be able to make your budget less than that. But people who are nurses, who work in universal precautions and in a sterile field and all that kind of stuff. And then they don't think anything of going to a salon where somebody pulls out a dirty file on a dusty table and pulls nippers out of a dirty drawer and uses them on them. I'm like, would you let somebody do that to you at the hospital? Would you do that to a patient at the hospital? No. No. Yeah, right? Radford in the barbershop. For a small town. So I would get doing some wicked good men's manicures too, by the way, if I was you. If in the small town, in the barbershop, I would get to be doing some just awesome 30-minute sport manicures on the guys for like $15. Especially if you can talk sports, they're all about that. I used to have quite a few people at the spa who were male manicure pedicure clients. Right? Yeah. I mean, look at everything about what you do and what you'd like to offer, you know? At the spa I worked at, I had tons of male clients. Husbands and wives who would come to me to get pedicures done side by side with the other nail tech. And they always had the wives always had their husbands come to me, because then the wife could relax with her little flax eye pillow on or whatever, but the guy couldn't because he was in kind of a weird environment. But I could talk sports or politics or business or whatever. And so it put them at ease. And so eventually, as time went on, I could get him to lay back and relax, because he started to build that trust with me that he wouldn't wake up with pink toes, you know, and I wouldn't do something that was going to hurt him. And I didn't make it foofy. I used products that on men, I used products like the almond type products, that didn't seem girly to them, or using like a sandalwood type smell products. And so I got a whole lot of male clients, and you know, you learn whether they want their nails buffed to a shine or just buff smooth, or, you know, and they're big babies about having their cuticles pushed back. They hate that. And so you got to use like a ton of cuticle remover, and it takes forever for cuticle work. That's why I say a half an hour, even though you're not putting polish on them. Because they're big babies when it comes to cuticle work. And, you know, but then you get their cuticles tamed and under control. And, you know, I suspect guys could be more loyal to therapists, as there won't be many for them to choose from. Especially when I think the big thing is taking whatever your target's going to be and making them comfortable. Plus, they don't like to look around for others. That's true. If you finally, especially for those of you who are in a shop that like a barber shop where men are already comfortable coming into, that's a huge advantage already. Getting them to come into a salon and spa, they have this big like, ooh, I'm in a salon in a lot of cases. And you're like, yeah, just ignore that part, you know? What's a good cuticle remover? Heard of foaming. I just use Cuticle Away from C&D. I like it because it's clear, it works really well, it doesn't smell, and then you can lift up the cuticle off the skin from underneath. The true cuticle, you can just kind of lift it up and it dissolves a lot of it away. And the rest of it, you can just sort of use the edge of your pusher to just kind of push off. And so over time, it just sort of eats away whatever tissue is supposed to be eaten away. And then you deactivate it with water so it doesn't do anything to the tissue you're not supposed to do anything to. So I use Cuticle Away. But there's other good ones. I've tested one recently that works really well. You need something that's going to be a chemical softener, not just a lotion softener. You need something that's actually going to dissolve skin, dead skin. So, VB Cosmetics Cuticle Remover with Lanolin. Yes. Yes. Be Natural Cuticle Eliminator is great. Right. Yeah. I mean, there's obviously other products on the market. Has there been any problem with the cuticle remover that has lanolin in it for allergic reactions to people who are allergic to lanolin? I've had some people over the years who I know have lanolin allergies. Coming up with a Dazzle Dry vegan cuticle remover. Oh, see, that'll be good because then since it's vegan, it won't have lanolin in it, correct? Yeah, I'd like to definitely see that. Oh, Dazzle Dry. Yay, Dazzle Dry. I love my Dazzle Dry. Okay, well, you guys, it's been my time here today of, dang it, my phone shut itself off. Boy, doesn't that suck, huh, Mare? You missed part of your daily gotta have. So I'm going to think about some of the things we put up here in the comment section below. I'll pull up the links for our Washington State laws and post them in the comments below so that you guys can take a look sort of at what I'm talking about, with the law thing. It's pretty cool. Don't have any complaints. And hopefully tomorrow we get to do nails over coffee over nails. Yes, my coffee is cold. We get to do nails over coffee over nails because I had to take care of a guest at the time I'm supposed to be doing your stuff. So you guys will get to see me remove gel polish on acrylic, and we'll be chatting while I'm doing some nails. So, and my guest is totally fine with that. We love to giggle about the hashtag, I think I'm a celebrity. So tomorrow will be nails over coffee over nails, and hopefully I'll have some news about a space. Well, okay, on your best behavior then, yeah, you'll have to watch it later, miss half the show. Yes, you don't necessarily need to be on your best behavior, but tomorrow you will need to realize that there will be, that my daughter will probably be holding the camera. And so, unless you want to listen to her giggle the whole time, you guys will be able to talk amongst yourselves, but I won't be able to look. So, yes, us UK ladies need to be good, right? My guest will totally get it, but, yeah, you need to, yeah, no foofs, no foofs. All right. You guys are nutty. All right. So, I will see you guys tomorrow, for Nails Over Coffee Over Nails, and have a awesome night. Love this platform. Been in business since 1977 and have learned more here than most anywhere. Oh, you're welcome. That's so great to hear. That's the kind of stuff that's the stuff that keeps me going when I'm having, a tough go. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Good night, you guys. It's time to say goodbye. 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 See you guys tomorrow.